Hey everyone! Today's video invites you to bring a little focus to your neck and shoulders, especially if you have a lot of tension or tightness or stiffness around this area, and even into your chest and upper back. So take a moment to find a comfortable seat. You can do this standing if you want to, but you need to be able to move your shoulders around, so not really one for doing lying down. Take a moment to arrive. Allow your pelvis to feel heavy into the support of the chair, or start to ground down through your feet. Now let's take a couple of moments to notice our breath, and you can close your eyes or soften your gaze here. You might take a few deep sighing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Allowing the muscles of your face to soften, your jaw to relax. And then tuning into your neck, the sides of your neck, the front, the back of your neck. The tops of your shoulders. Notice how this area feels today. How does it feel right now? And you don't need to make judgments. This is a non-judgmental space. And if you do tend to have a lot of tension, tightness or pain in this area, maybe it's an area that feels quite unsafe or doesn't make you happy, it might make you feel, quite frustrated and upset at times. But acknowledge the emotions that come in when you tune into this area, and as best you can, practice self-compassion. There is nothing wrong with you. Let's try and embrace who we are, showing up today in whatever way that is. Start to breathe in and out through your nose if that's available. Find a slow, steady, conscious breath that will help to guide you through the movements. You can have your eyes open or closed throughout this practice. And we'll take a breath in to prepare. And on your exhale, turn your nose to your right, as if you're trying to look over your shoulder. Notice that stretch down the left-hand side of the neck. Pause for a few breaths here, so don't hold the breath. And try not to force yourself to look over your shoulder. Take a breath in as you bring it back to center, and then exhale to look over the other shoulder. Pausing for a few breaths there. Noticing how it feels on this side. And then turning your head from right to left, left to right, super slowly. Thinking of it almost like you're oiling up your neck, your spine. So it might continue to be one breath, one movement. It might be inhale to center and then exhale as you look to one side, inhale back to center and then exhale to the other. or it might just be an in and out breath, as long as you're not holding your breath. Bringing your head back to center, start to lower your chin towards your chest, find a little length in the back of the neck. And imagine that you could breathe into the back of your neck. You might even move your head a little bit here, so really tuning into the sensations in your neck. Start to lift your nose, lift it up towards the ceiling. Find that length in the front of your neck and throat. And then we'll start to lower chin to chest. And then nose to the sky, lifting your chin. And just taking a few more just like that. Again, oiling up the joints. Remembering that we don't need to force. The slower the better with these movements. And let's start to take a few rolls of the head. Doesn't matter which way you're going because we'll do both sides. Imagine you're drawing a big circle with your nose. And maybe noticing those areas that feel tight and tense. Observing them with compassion. And maybe noticing the areas that feel open and spacious. Let's take a few circles in the opposite direction. Check that you're not holding your breath. And once you've completed the final circle, the final round, we'll bring the head back to center. Take a moment to pause here and notice how your neck feels. And you might even want to drop ear towards shoulder, going from side to side, tick-tock with the head. And I'm not forcing, and I'm also not bringing the shoulder up to meet the ear. Let your shoulders relax, let your arms feel heavy. Just let your head drift from side to side, finding a little length in one side and a contraction in the other. Come back to center. Take a few breaths to notice. And there's no right or wrong with your observations. It's just your experience. And remembering that we're embracing and welcoming in whatever that experience is. Let's bring some awareness into our shoulders. Both together, let's take a breath in to bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Squeeze them up there. See if you can feel the muscles contracting in your shoulders, but make sure that you're breathing and not holding the breath here. On an exhale, very slowly, release your shoulders all the way back down and let them feel really heavy. Let your arms feel heavy. If you're sat on a chair, you could even have your arms down by the sides of you, so rather than hands on lap. And you're bringing your shoulders up, taking a breath in and exhaling to slowly lower it down. And you can do one at a time. If you want to really tune into one shoulder at a time, especially if you do have a particular side that feels painful or tense more than the other side, then do it one at a time and do one side first and then pause in the middle and notice how that feels, and then do the other side so that you can observe. We're not over analysing, we're not picking it apart. Just getting to know ourselves. We'll keep it going. So I've just started to do one and then the other, but you can keep going with both. You can join in with one at a time. As we're bringing the shoulders up, we are voluntarily contracting the muscles. So we want that little squeeze. And then as we release, we are voluntarily trying to soften and release that tension. So we're moving in and out of that tightness and that constriction. Let's turn it into some shoulder rolls. You can go both together or again one at a time, so depending on how much time that you've got. And again, if you want to focus in on one side and then the other. You can keep your arms down. You can bring your fingers onto your shoulders and create bigger circles. If you've got more space around you, you might even take some big arm circles. And you could bring a little bit of movement into your spine as well, almost like a seated cat-cow or a standing cat-cow. Spine moving forwards and backwards. And you can let your head join in with a little bit of the movement. So don't feel like you have to be really rigid with every single other part of your body while you're just focusing on your arms. Let your body move in its natural way. Not trying to stop anything from happening, because that's when we might end up bringing in a little more tension, unnecessary tension. Take it in the opposite direction if you haven't already, your shoulder rolls or arm circles. And then we'll float the arms all the way back down. Let yourself rest into the support of the chair, or if you're standing, take a moment to ground down through your feet. Let your shoulders relax, soften your jaw. Come back to your breath. And notice how you feel. Tune back in to your neck and shoulders. So like that scan that we did at the start, let's do a scan at the end and notice, was that enough for you? Does anything feel different? Does it feel better? Do you feel like you've got more space, openness, less constriction? Or do you need to do a little bit more? We'll take 5 more breaths here. And of course you are welcome to carry on with the movement. If your eyes are closed, let's blink them open. And let's take a breath in to reach our arms out wide, reach them up and overhead, find length down the sides of your waist, and maybe even look up to your hands. Bring the palms together as you slide your hands all the way down to your heart, and maybe you bow down to yourself. Take a moment to thank your breath, your body, your mind, your spirit. Everything that makes up you. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.